guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gugzzr and I talk about the subconscious mind and ponder all the things that you most likely have thought about in your life but have never really had the chance to talk about, so that is what my channel is all about. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how imagination and daydreaming too much can actually cause internal suffering. I am a prime example of this, and I feel like I've been doing this since I was a kid. And it just recently occurred to me, if you spend too much time imagining something or daydreaming about something and not actually doing the realistic things in the real world to obtain those things, it is going to inevitably cause you quite a bit of suffering. Daydreaming is so much fun. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Try to escape your reality for a little bit. Most likely there's things that you imagine that you're doing that you want to do. Like, they're your happiest states of being. You picture yourself doing things in the world that you want to be doing, glamorize it. What we're essentially doing when we are daydreaming is we are taking ourselves out of the reality that we're currently living in, and we are kind of escaping our reality because we can't come to terms with our reality at all. It's sad and it's painful because we might not like all the things that are actually happening in our life, and therefore we escape in this other new world, but we know that other new world is not real right now. It can be real, I'll get to that later. It can lead to a crazy amount of depression and suffering that honestly doesn't need to happen. This is also done by the lack of presence in our everyday being. By this I mean we're not actually present in everything that we're doing. When we wake up in the morning, we already are racing with thoughts of the day, things that we need to do, stresses that are coming our way. We're not actually just waking up and looking outside and just being in the moment. But I am going to tell you how to get out of this, because I am also in this, or I guess I should say I was in this, and I kind of got out of it and I realized the quality of my life went zoop. So let's talk about that. The first thing that we need to establish is what you are doing in your life. For example, if your daydreaming and imagination is something completely opposite of what you're actually doing in your life, you need to evaluate if your life is actually headed in the direction that you dream of. Many times we think that we dream about things that are completely out of our reach and it's never going to be ours. I am a firm believer that there's nothing out of your reach. Everyone's circumstances are different, everyone's lives are different, they present different obstacles, but that doesn't mean these obstacles cannot be overcome. That is part of life. That's literally what living is. You need to overcome obstacles. You need to know that you're worthy of whatever it is that you're trying to get. Don't try to get external validation from other people. That's just gonna fucking end up wrong. Because most likely, if you're daydreaming about something that's completely opposite of what you're actually doing physically, like for example, you're daydreaming about becoming a musician or changing your profession and doing something else, but you're currently working at a job that is just not that at all, which is okay, you need to pay bills, it's fine. Your network of people around you are people that are also in the same reality that you're currently in. If you're gonna ask those people what they think about what your goals are, they're obviously gonna think you're bozo. A lot of people try to get external validation by asking their significant other or their parents, and honestly most times if you explain something reasonably and you have a good action plan, people can get on board, especially people who love you. That leads me to my second part. Are you tangibly doing things to like get yourself into your imagination / daydream world? Are you actually like taking the effort to network with the right people, learn about what it is to be in that field? Are you manifesting? Are you trying to improve yourself and your skills? Are you healing yourself? This is very, very underrated. Nobody talks about this. When I went to business school, everyone talked about business plans and how to get somewhere practically and tangibly and financially. That's important too, but nobody actually talked about the fact that there's a huge component. You need to heal as a person. This can include meditation, this can include therapy. You need to know who you are before setting out to tangibly achieve what it is that your daydream / imagination world is making you think of. When you start to take the steps to actually achieve your daydream world, you don't suffer as much anymore. You have a good plan of action and you're working towards it, and you're able to be content with where your life is headed because you finally have the right direction in your life. A lot of people are not on the path or direction that they feel like best suits them. This comes back to our survival instincts. A lot of people are just trying to survive. It's just the reality of us living in a society anywhere in the world. You need to pay bills and you need to get through. If your daydreams and imagination and visualizations are so strong, I urge you to just try. materialize that shit. When you start to do this, magic happens. And I don't know how else to explain it, but when the universe sees that you're trying to actually change your physical reality because you've now changed your brain thinks that you're worthy of your daydream and imagination world, and you're doing the tangible things with your human hands in this reality to make it a possibility, you will have help from divine. I'm just gonna share like a personal story. My whole life, I was turned off. There was a part of my brain that was just turned off. The only parts of my life, my heart and my brain that were working were the parts that were robotic, and they were just trying to survive because I had a pretty rough childhood. Like many people, I remember not letting myself think for myself. And when you're a kid, when you see certain things, you only see life a certain way. If you see your parents doing something a certain way, you think there's only one way to live life. So this daydream and imagination world is even more further out of reach because you haven't seen anyone in your life trying to achieve any of their dreams and goals. I remember I used to always imagine myself doing something I love to do. I can't put my finger on what it was, but I always imagined myself doing things like traveling the world and taking videos and just living my life. Just around 2 years ago, I started to materialize it, and hence why you're watching this video. It's not out of your reach. You shouldn't put some crazy expectation on yourself from the get-go because you're just gonna overwhelm yourself with the success rate. In society, we're taught that like if you start something, you must be fucking successful right away, but I don't think society understands that not everything is monetary. Like there's a lot of things that you do for yourself internally. The objective of society is to make us make money. It's for profit. No one's trying to ensure that you're happy. No one gives a fuck about you. Take it into your own hands and just understand like it doesn't matter if no one else gives a fuck about you. You give a fuck about you. So give yourself the life that you're worthy of. Also, intuition is a really big thing. So if you're actually daydreaming and imagining a lot of things, usually it's some sort of sign. And I am a firm believer of this because I've seen it happen so many times in my life. It's just convinced me that, yo, intuition is fucking real. It makes sense. We don't know why the fuck we're here anyways. The reality that we have, that we see and that we have created is exactly that. It's just what we have created. We could make a reality anything. Anyways, that's enough out of me today. Cheers, bitches! Woo! That was a weird closing statement. If you enjoy videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. See you guys next video. That was a fucking great video. Wow, I'm proud of you, bitch.